Hi, I'm Judd with Adrenalin Industries, and I'm really excited to do an overview today of our latest Ram 5500 that has our newest utility bed and all the other goodies that we put on this truck. So what is this? I'm sure that's what most people are going to know. It's the ultimate pickup truck. I mean, with a name like Adrenalin Industries, that's what we're all about, is this adrenaline experience. We wanted to build the ultimate pickup truck, and there was nothing out there that existed at this level with all the components I wanted. So I'm excited to tell you all about them. So let me tell you what you can do with this truck. First off, it's a 5500. So it's the biggest, baddest Ram that they make. But usually a 5500 would just torture you to try and drive. Unless you run a landscape business and you're hauling topsoil around all day long, the suspension is sprung way too hard. So we have the world's greatest suspension on here. So this truck will drive more like a half ton, maybe a 3/4 ton when it's empty. But then you still have the ability to tow nearly 36,000 pounds and around 10,000 pounds of payload if you need it. And so our customers at times just want the greatest pickup truck ever that's unloaded, that you just want to drive on date night. You want to drive it to go fishing, on a road trip. It can do that and not kill you like a normal 5500 would. But then you can load it with everything imaginable, the biggest camper you can buy, tow a train behind it, and it will still drive the same because of what we've done to it. Now, we like to be transparent. First question people start to ask in these YouTube videos or on social media is how much? It's on our website, we don't hide it all, but it's expensive. You are absolutely insane to buy this truck. But you're insane if you buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or whatever else. We all have these bad habits. If we're young and we're buying an expensive fly rod or whatever your latest habit is, everything's expensive. You get what you pay for. This is nearly a $200,000 truck, and I'll go through and explain why. What we primarily build that makes Adrenalin unique is that bed. That bed is $20,000 for the lower half, and then the upper boxes add another $5,000 to it. So this bed's $25,000. There's a few extras we'll go through in this video that we've added to it above and beyond that, but not much. But so yeah, you're $25,000 for a bed, and then when we go through the suspension and the tires and wheels, that all adds up to a lot of money. But you do get what you pay for. The experience of this truck is like nothing else out there. You will never drive a better large truck that has the capacity this does, that floats down the road like a half ton. So if you want to know why this is the best truck we've ever built, because it was supposed to be my personal one. We're so stupid. This is a 2023 truck. It's now 2025. And because our customers always come first, we're always getting theirs done. I feel the guilt of like, I get theirs done. So this truck's out there. We had a customer that wanted a limited. He's like, I want a limited Ram. You can't get them. 2025, as of February 2025, you cannot get a limited Ram. You can only get like a tradesman, like a work truck. So anyway, this customer begged and begged and begged, and finally I just threw in the towel, said okay. So I built it up, but it forced me to finish it 2 years later. But let me go over all the things, because it was supposed to be my truck, of what we added to it. I'll start with suspension, because that's what really makes this truck ride the way it does. We use liquid springs. It's a silicone base, because silicone is compressible liquid. So that's what gives us the option of changing ride heights. It changes the stiffness from comfort to normal to sport. And that's what makes the magic of this truck ride like a half ton, or maybe a little stiffer than a half ton, but not much. And so liquid springs is on here. The tire we chose on this time was Goodyear's. There's a lot of different tire options our customers can choose from. There's pros and cons to all of them. This one has a higher speed rating. They're normally not very round, so we have to shave them and spend extra money to do that. They're the quietest of all the tires. They have a decent payload to them. Then we did also Hutchinson beadlock wheels. Pros and cons are a little bit heavier. They look the coolest. I mean, Hutchinsons just look the coolest. They're military grade. Incredible setup there. And then this right here, the hips. This is my baby. These were a ridiculous amount of money. This is the first one that we built. So the molding and everything else, but these are about $10,000. Unfortunately, I wish we could sell them for cheaper. If people would buy 100 trucks at a time, we could. But this was the one of one for now. And so they come perfect. We realize there's at least three different levels of fiberglass work. And this is level 3. This is the kind that we don't have to have a body shop afterwards, try and shave and finish or whatever. It came raw. We sanded it and painted it, and then we bed lined the end of it here, the end of the fender, and it was a perfect fit. So there's not a better quality fender on the market than what we put on this truck. On the limited truck, you get the park sensors. maybe it will change in a year, but as of today, I don't like chrome. So we blacked this out. So there's a little bit of a tint, street legal tint here on the lights, blacked all this stuff out, replaced the grill with a black grill. And so we deleted all the chrome. Up here was chrome. This is our own badge made out of aluminum. It's backlit, so when the park lights are on or your driving lights, this shines through with a light behind it. We've got all the best lights. We got Rigid's top of the line lights, none of the cheap stuff on this truck. It lights up the world. The yellows on the outside actually are tied into the steering. So when you turn left or right, like if you're making a turn, it will actually turn on those bottom ditch lights. So it's awesome. I mean, we thought of everything on this truck to really make it extra special. You got the huge light bar here. The bumper's aluminum, so you're not gonna have a rust problem. Yeah, it costs more money. It's lighter. We try and make things, as light as we can, and then also so you're not gonna have a rust problem. You got a 20,000-pound Comeup winch. That's our favorite winch to use on these trucks. They just work great. They're an incredible company to work with. And then you got your priceless license plate on here. I mean, I don't know what we should charge for that, but it's got to be ridiculous amounts of money just to say Adrenalin on the truck. You want to know what in the world this is? I think you're going to love this. This is one of my favorite parts of the truck as well, is we added our own engineered Adrenalin semi-tire inflation. What that means is that we've got air to every corner of the truck. And so you drop this in, flip the cover off. It's a quick pop in. Right here, I would just unscrew, if I can find it, you see all the bolts, everything's hidden. Right here is the valve stem. I unscrew that off, and this actually latches onto it. So I can hook that on, and then I go around the other side of the truck, and we'll show you, I can dial in the exact air pressure I want, either up or down. Take a nap in the truck, going down it deflates pretty quick, going up. We have 2 Viair air compressors. It's the biggest electric we could put on this truck, but it works pretty quick, enough you can just hang out for a minute in the heated cab or air conditioned cab and not be out here freezing or having your knees fall asleep when you're my age as you're squatting down trying to air up and air down the tire. It's amazing, and it's pretty inexpensive. Okay, so here on the driver's side is the brains to that semi-central tire inflation. So here with the dial, it will show me my tank pressure, and then I can dial in exactly what I want the tire pressure. So I hook up 4 cords, four lanyards and air hoses to each corner, and then I can dial that in. If you wanted the front or the rear a little heavier, then you can disconnect the front and then only work on doing the rear and vice versa. You have a flat tire, you can work on one. Also in this box is a separate retractable air hose. That way, because your buddies are not going to have this cool of a setup on their truck, so they're going to need their tires filled up. You can do it off of here. You could also park them close and use the lanyards if you wanted to do, 2 tires at a time. But with this single, it puts out quite a bit of air, especially on a Jeep. It's going to have a smaller tire. Your buddies with Toyotas and stuff, after you put them to shame, and then haul them out and put their truck in this, because your payload is more than their truck weighs, and you're totally flexing on your buddies. You can then fill up their tires for them. Okay, this truck also has amp steps. They don't make them for a Ford and Ram 5500s. So we actually have to change the bracketry to make them work. And so they do, and we use the amp XL, which drops down the lowest. And then up top, we have a bunch of different options for roof racks. I like the roof racks. They just give it a little more character to it. We have a lot of different lighting options. We chose not to. We kept all of our lights down low on this one. But one of the advantages to the roof racks is that a cab and chassis, the frame rails are higher because it's a flatbed. So if you have like a F450 or a 3500 dually or whatever, your tires are made to go up inside the fenders, so you can't have a flatbed. So cab and chassis sit up taller so that our tires can have the full travel they need and have a flatbed. Well, now if you put in a slide-in camper, you're going to be about 4 inches taller than if it was sunk into a normal pickup truck bed. And so I think this makes it look cleaner by putting a roof rack on there, because now the camper can go over and you don't have an unnecessary larger gap that you would have without the roof rack. So in these cab and chassis trucks, typically you have what's either called a 60-inch cab to axle, so back of the cab to center line of the axle, or you have an 84-inch. And so we kind of call those our short bed, which is this, which gives you approximately a 9-foot bed, or the long bed, which is the 84-inch cab to axle, which gives you an 11-foot bed. Okay, so start with the flatbed part of the truck, which is from here down. So there is a little bit of steel just in the subframe to give the strength that we need. Everything else, the flatbed part, the sides, the boxes, everything else is aluminum. So this lower section is our base utility bed. And it's still loaded, it still has all the lights in it and stuff, still has these bottom drawers. And then we get a little more creative on the upper bed packages. So this is the upper bed package. And look how much storage you get with all of this. And they're all lit. Just grundles of storage. I love it. Like, you can pack so much stuff into these. We put a little divider here, but if you had like fishing poles, heaven forbid if you love fishing, but bless your soul, or skis, that's better. If you have skis, whatever, we built that so that you have nearly 8 feet across here back for, you know, long items you want to put in these boxes. So we don't mess around on the components. These are premium soft close hinges, premium latches. They're strong enough you could use it as a workbench, or if you're cooking or something, you could use it as a tabletop or a prep table. Really strong. We recess the lights so they're not breaking if you do back into something. We also have this option. It's kind of a love-hate, is these torque lift hitches give you a 30,000 pound bumper tow capacity, but they look kind of stupid, and they kind of ruin our departure angle a little bit. I mean, we're still high up in the air, but it ruins it a little bit. But a lot of people are using slide-in campers, and with slide-in campers, those things hang out way back over here, so that about half our customers are having us add the torque lift so that they can do the extensions out here and be able to tow trailers where they go. We try to utilize all the storage we can. Because this has a gooseneck hitch in it, we can't go the full depth of the bed, but we can go up to that hitch. So you still have quite a bit of storage in here that's pretty water resistant. Well, little details, like I said, it's important to me. I wanted the Adrenalin heartbeat in here, so that's laser etched in there. We also have got the bed part here. And I love having these soft covers. They roll up out of the way, but there's just so many times you're on a road trip. Even though we got all this storage on my normal pickups back, you know, throughout the years, I just love when you're on a road trip to be able to put all your luggage and stuff in there and know that it's protected from the weather. So we purposely integrated the lip system here so that you can run a soft roll-up cover or a hard folding one, whatever you want. The lip is built in there. We have airline track or L-track, aluminum L-track, that's also included in our upper boxes. And it's shifted over just a little bit so that this soft cover could be mounted in there. But then it's still, when this is rolled up, it gives you lots of tie-down points for dirt bikes, whatever else you might want to put in here. Another reason that we put the L-track up on top here and spaced apart is because we also make crossbars if somebody wants those. They're pretty inexpensive, so that way you could mount rooftop tents or ski racks or bike racks up above the cover. We can build those to any height if someone wanted them higher and do a rooftop tent on top, so you can still put maybe a dirt bike below it. They could do that too. In here, this does have a hidden gooseneck where the ball can flip around. And then it has a quick release plate, aluminum plate with our logo in it, that snaps in place for when you need truly all that to be flat and not have the hole in the floor. Our entire utility bed is powder coated. We do offer a paint match option for customers that might want that. I recommend then also doing a bed liner. So we have a bed liner that's on the entire flatbed before we mount the upper boxes. And then the upper boxes are mounted on there, and then we rebed line the insides of the upper boxes, the headache rack up there, and the back of this door. Moving over here, we also, because most people don't like the look of mud flaps, and it will throw up a lot of garbage, we also bed line the front side of the boxes here to handle rock chips that might come that direction. So here on the driver's side, the storage boxes are identical to the passenger side, other than where the spare tire is. Over here, we utilize this space for a big garage. And so it's got a shelf in it. That shelf could be adjusted. We could pull it out if somebody has something bigger they want to put in there. A lot of different options. You also see that we have L-track everywhere. It's under the boxes mount into them. So when someone wants to haul hay, or want to put two snowmobiles or something up here, these boxes come off pretty quickly. There's only 4 bolts that are into the airline track that can be removed, so one person can remove them. They're just long, they're not really heavy because they're aluminum, so it's easy, really easy with 2 people. One person can do it if you're, need to, but super easy with 2 people. So here for our upper bed packages, I spec this truck with the spare tire on that side and then an 18-inch garage on this side. You can do 2 spare tires. For the guys, we have customers who are using these as chase trucks for Baja. So they're gonna need, or hopefully they don't need, but they wanna pack 2 spare tires just in case you're in the middle of Baja and have multiple blowouts. And then we can also, on the 11-foot bed, we can keep these side boxes the same length, but because everything's pushed back 2 feet, we can add another 2 feet to that garage and take it on the other side as well. So there are a few different options that people can choose from on our upper bed packages. I also love this just for the peace of mind of knowing what your tires are doing, the temperature and the PSI. So we have our own system that we worked with in putting in our truck. So each of the tires have almost looks like a golf ball that the battery only turns on once it notices it's rolling. So they should last for years and years. And they're pretty inexpensive to replace the battery in that. They should outlast your tires. And so here, as I'm going down the road, I can see that I have 44 PSI in the front left, 45 in the front right, 45, 40, and 44. It also gives me the temperature, 59 degrees, 63 degrees. So that way, before a blowout happens, usually that tire gets really hot and a lot hotter. You can set alarms for parameters on here to warn you and beep at you and flash at a certain temperature or a PSI if it drops below something. And those can be altered. So if you're spending a lot of time in the sand dunes, you want to air down to like say 18 PSI, you want to know when it goes below 15 or something, you can change the parameters for that. This is a great system for the peace of mind of just knowing what your tires are up to, especially if you're hauling a heavy load. So this really is a pretty truck. One of my daily drivers is a TRX. I just replaced that with a new RHO. And this is the same interior you're getting. The massive touchscreen. You got all this adjustment for cup holders and things. You got cup holders back here, tons of storage here in the middle. So this is their limited package. This is the nicest trim package you can get in a Ram. I hope they continue to offer it in the 5500. We've done some other hidden things to this truck too. With Ram, we were able to find a tuner for it that still leaves all the emissions in place, and it's a plug and play. It wakes it up. The throttle response is so much faster. This thing rips off-road. Like in the sand dunes, in the snow, we took it up to our ranch and we're playing side by side with our Snowcat, passing the Snowcat because it has so much more power. I mean, there's probably around 2 feet of snow. It was barreling through everything. We could take it anywhere we wanted. As you can see, we have a lot of fun building and using these trucks. If you have any questions about this truck or want us to build you one, leave a comment or reach out to us via our website. Thanks so much for watching and supporting us.